Coming up, the three internet novel Musketeers. They are the creators of BrokenSaints.com, currently working out of one of their mother's basements, but with thousands of hits a day, things may soon change. Stay with us.
Andrew used to come into the video game store where I worked before I went to be a producer at Electronic Arts and make games. And we had talked for a long time about doing a comic together because I fancied myself a writer. He fancied himself an artist. The years went by, we joked about it continually, and then I met Ian through Andrew, and it turns out he was playing around with Flash, the program that animates online. And we thought, hey, you know, if we combine his skills with his skills and my skills, ta-da, synergy, it could really, really be something special because no one has used Flash to really tell a good story online yet.
Tell me what Flash is. I know it's Flash. I know Flash Gordon. I know him. But what is Flash?
Okay, well, internet kind of started, well, almost with HTML, right? Which is the boring code. Or I call it boring code.
I know all about that.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. I'll put my degree down here. We don't need that.
Well, yeah, we do have deodorant just in case.
Sponsored by Don't You
Stink.
Stink.
So.
I know. What if we get a contract? Keep that up. Okay.
Okay. Well, it started with HTML, right? Which is pretty limiting. You've got text and pictures, but not much movement, and you're really limited with what you can do. So Flash came out a while back, and it's maturing a bit more now, and it allows you to pretty much have animation with a fairly quick download size. So other than video, it's more like cartoon style. It's I don't want to get too deep into this because it's going to confuse everybody.
Right, I've seen some of it, so I know what it looks like.
The interesting thing that Flash is allowing us to do, here's the problem as far as we were concerned, and personally I've been enraged with. The internet has been failing because of content issues. Plain and simple. This is content, that's great. But mostly what do people do? They download text, they download pictures, mainly porn, and they download MP3s, music. These three separate entities, right? So photos, like JPEGs, music, text, and primarily text. And then all of a sudden people are trying to do television online.
Yes.
And as their storytelling.
Like we do.
Well,
we stream.
But now streaming's okay if it's like data or information or special interest stuff. But I think actually like trying to tell like a movie style story or a television story, this is a different medium from that. You can't get cozy in front of the fire and have your laptop screen there, your computer screen there, and really be engaged in a story. So I'm like, okay, how can we take advantage of the problems with latency and bandwidth and like frame rates being jerky and all those stupid things we have to worry about tech-wise? Okay, well, how about we combine pictures, artwork, with music and sound effects and the written word, which are all things people are familiar with doing anyway online, and merge them together into something that's very cinematic and very intense.
But also quick to download on fairly quick to download. Our chapters are about 10 to
15 minutes.
Right.
And so that's like really a long chunk of storytelling in comparison to like the 2 or 3 minute films you usually see online or flash films.
And quick is operative. So Andrew, how do you come into this? You draw, obviously. You animate. You're animated?
I don't animate per se.
Okay.
I have a really neat toy. It's a huge tablet, which it makes me draw directly on the computer. So
saves scanning.
Yeah, instead of scanning, because scanning takes forever.
It takes like a sensitive pen and presses against the tablet and is able to do marvelous things.
So it's like you weren't born when we had the little. You'd write on a little ink thing, and then you could erase it.
I was born. I was born. I'm older than you.
What were they called?
Well, I remember that. I had that when I was a kid.
It was like magic pads or something. Okay. So how did this begin as a story?
Well, when we finally ran into Ian, I'm like, okay, I decided to leave my job at Electronic Arts. I was tired of doing the cubicle barnyard thing. And I got tired of being limited in philosophy and storytelling rather than making every year an upgrade of a sports game. It wasn't challenging me. I'm a storyteller. That's what I want to do.
Right.
And it came together when I realized, okay, I've been traveling around the world. I want to figure out, discover about myself. You have a guest coming on later who's all about self-discovery. I think all of us in this generation are trying to figure out what our place is in the world because the world feels a little bit overwhelming at times. There's so much information. There's so much going on, so much stimuli.
Sure.
And I want to tell a story about that, but in kind of like a archetypal Lord of the Ringsy Star Warsy, if you will, but a little bit less banal sort of way, and bring in some of my travels and philosophies into it. And then along came these guys who really helped me just crystallize.
Long came Mary. No.
They just helped crystallize a vision, really, and that's what was necessary, right? It was always there, and then bang, and everything they brought to it made it so much more than what it could have been.
Did you do anything formal, like get an accountant and incorporate, or did you just start?
No, this is where we can bring in the whole Switch thing,
Yeah.
probably.
As soon as I got back from my travels, I went to Europe and came back and I worked for a design firm called Switch Interactive.
What's
And
their address down on how?
Switch Interactive? They're probably
I got the
watching.
postal code.
Yes, totally.
They're saying,
What's
and we
it
would
say?
hope that you would
Switch
mention
Interactive
us.
and Fleming Design,
Design.
and they're down on near Howe and Davy.
Yeah, Davey and Howe.
And
Okay.
they're a wicked design firm, and Ian was just starting work for them, and this was another little synchronicity that worked out wonderfully.
Perfect, yeah. And then Brooke actually, we were talking about this. We didn't know how it was going to start or anything like that. It was just an idea. We wanted to do it. We weren't sure how. And so Brooke came in and pitched the idea as a prestige piece for them. So, I mean, it worked beautifully. It was great. We started it off.
Basically, it was to
supported us.
showcase everyone's skills. It was to
Yeah.
showcase that Switch understood really good design and could promote something and really penetrate a market and generate interest and show off their skills. It would show off Ian's Flash skills. It would show off Andrew's art abilities. It would show off my writing and directing abilities, and perhaps attract us all a good, healthy chunk of work and some fiscal rewards.
Yeah.
Without them, we couldn't have flown to the heights that we've flown now. So that's
very
So we're giving them credit.
a heartfelt.
Switch, we love
Thanks, Catherine Winkler,
you. We
Doug
love you
Fleming,
too.
Blair Pocock. Rock
We love all of you.
We love everyone.
Yes, we do.
That's my mom.
Young Kirby.
Your mom's basement. This
She
is
provides the
it's-
tea.
Oh, really?
Little spot.
You see, in the 60s, we used to provide drugs. Well, we didn't. But
We've been asking for some fungus for quite
you
some
have, nothing happened.
No, my mom
Nothing's
doesn't
growing
provide
in the
that.
backyard.
Oh, mother.
No.
She gives you tea and
She
crumpets,
supports the
and that's
idea.
good.
She's just not our connection.
No, of course not. We can't have that because we'd be too loopy. Do you know what's going to happen next? How many episodes, first of all?
24. It was going to be a finite series from day one. And we tried to realize, okay, what are our limitations? How many shots can we do per episode and still get this thing out every
still
like 2 or 3
learning with
weeks?
that, yeah.
We're still toying around with that a little bit. But I said, okay, you know what? I need a certain amount of time to be able to tell the story and let characters develop. And 24 sounds like it. And it comes from kind of the comic book background that I have as a fan. The fact that you either tell a story in 3, 6, 12, or 24. So this is a big one, and it links the characters, and once that's done, well, some interesting things might be popping to the surface.
We like that.
Well, we've already
those
had interest
interesting
from
things.
we've already had interest from people in other mediums, basically saying, this thing could go from here to there.
To be a game,
To be a
perhaps.
game,
Just
perhaps,
the
to
thing
be
you're
a
trying to get away from, making games.
That was away from making games that philosophy didn't tell
Yes.
stories. We might want to take it as a series, a live-action series, or an animated series
real television.
on real television or film. Exactly, because
That would be good.
It's
Real
compelling
television
storytelling.
pays well.
Yeah.
Have been there.
People
you know
say,
that.
I heard.
Yeah. However, real internet may pay well too, but you say it's all free right now. This is
Absolutely,
all
for sure.
free.
Absolutely.
I can go there, anybody can go there. You just have to have a computer. Do you need a special connection, high speed, low
You
speed,
can do it
any
on dial.
speed?
You can do it on dial-up. Takes a little bit
Have a
longer.
cup of tea when you're waiting. It's faster than it would be downloading a 10-minute QuickTime movie. It's since Flash is allowed us to pack more in. It's quite a bit in there.
Okay, now our artist is strangely silent. That's a tough thing when you draw.
He's a cryptic son of a gun.
He is, and when you are drawing wonderful. Were you an artist before computers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't even really like computers.
Okay.
None of us really like computers.
No, but it's very important. Where were you trained, or did you just start?
I just started. I just mucked about as a kid.
Self-taught. Self-taught.
Perfect.
It's about passion more than anything else.
Of course,
you gotta
Marcus.
drive.
What I've seen in my lifetime is to quote an author named Christopher Lasch, a culture of narcissism. We are so inundated with self and concerns about self, and even the late 80s philosophy of love yourself and love everyone else, and yourself, self, and buy stuff for yourself and satisfy yourself. And we've turned so inward that we have become insular. We've cocooned our existence. We aren't relating to anybody anymore, and electronics actually aren't helping that.
No.
Not too much.
Right.
We need to be able to really communicate. Instead, we're separating and segmenting the process. And I want to write a story that talked about the roots of why that is happening on a kind of spiritual, mystical level.
Right.
Why that is happening, what horrible things could happen because of it and are happening because of it. And the only way I believe in my philosophy to overcome that, which is selflessness. People say, well, what's your antagonist in this? What's like the great evil, so to speak, and it turns into something schmaltzy. It's not tangible because we don't live in something where it's tangible. We try to blame, and really it comes from inside ourselves. It's all about fear. Everything we do that's negative to every other human being or to the planet or to ourselves is from fear. And
Love is letting go of fear. Jerry Jampolsky, the 60s.
Well, and it's true, and we live in a society that generates it. Generates it on a constant, quiet basis,
Of
and it's
course.
like fridge buzz, and we just don't hear it. So this is a story that kind of tries to smack away the fridge buzz. A hunter-gatherer society was all about sharing everything, being communal, as you know, and everything that the weakest member experienced, the strongest member
Of
experienced. It
course.
was all about supporting the weakest member and caring and giving and being selfless. You had to. And what was the most important thing, other than gaining sustenance and having shelter, was the telling of stories, because stories were archetypal. They dug in and made people realize that the world is much greater than themselves. They are an intricate part of it, sure, but they are not the be-all and end-all.
How many hits?
Ranging. We
Whoa.
had 70,000 unique visitors last month.
I should say visitors because we know
yeah,
hits
hits
don't
are
we
count.
had like
Exactly.
millions of hits. Yeah.
Yeah, millions of hits. Visitors, people who, fans, I guess is the right word. How many people come back week to week? Like
We have about 3 to
reading
5,000
Stephen-
hardcores,
Yeah.
and then up to 25,000 casuals, people who visit the site maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. But people come every day between 2 and 5,000 easily.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it's very global. It's
It's like
European,
The bulk of
like-
our fans are like Germany,
Yeah.
Belgium. Like
Very-
we
very
knew
strong there.
that graphic art and graphic literature was
Yes.
huge in Europe, but we had no idea. Like they've really spread it around. Made
Do
it
you
very
have a
viral.
profile of who comes? Male,
country?
female,
Ooh, big
young,
mix.
old?
yeah.
Really a wide demographic. It might do
It's-
a bit of the
it's
bell
actually-
curve and be like maybe 18 to 35.
Yeah. I'd probably say about that.
18 to 35
My
male
age.
and female. Absolutely. I'd say
Yeah.
more, about the 32, 31.
Yeah,
and
about
then,
that. Somewhere there.
But no, we are not limited at all. My parents said to me, "Oh, we're not really interested in watching this because it's more for your generation."
Oh,
and then
my grandfather watches it. He's 84 in England. He watches all the
great.
chapters. He's up to date on it. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
75-year-old fellow.
Andrew, does your family watch?
Oh yeah, my mom's our biggest fan.
Oh, she's the bomb.
she's a
Really?
huge fan. She goes on the forum boards and chastises anyone who doesn't appreciate us. Careful for Big Mama.
Perfect. Does she say, I'm his mother? My son's the
He
artist.
says, "I am one of the creator's mothers."
Oh,
So it paints us all with the
perfect.
same brush, but that's okay. It's a very nice brush.
That's okay. It's a great brush, and he can use one.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Right?
With his knowledge.
Did you ever wear suits and ties
No.
and do a little corporate
Notice the nod.
thing
No.
ever?
No,
Never
I
had to.
I was allowed slippers. And my
Oh,
other job too, I had
perfect.
slippers.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a demand. I was like, I'm only working there if I can have slippers.
In the games industry, you're working like 12 hours a day. Same with the design industry too. Like you're doing lots of overtime clocking it, and so they want you to be as comfortable as possible.
Sure.
You name the piercings, tattoos, and revealing clothing
Yeah,
of the
blood
office. It was-
sport, as they say.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And that was the de rigueur at EA.
And you can't be an artist and wear normal clothes or glasses or have normal hair. People wouldn't believe you're an artist.
No,
Exactly.
Like
It's
eccentric.
mostly. It is true. The odd artist you see in a suit, but rarely. I don't know any. Well, Gordon Smith, but he doesn't even wear a suit. He just wears nice old clothes. and
But they're
Charlie
creepy
Packer.
normal. When an artist wears a suit and is like well groomed, there's almost a creepy normality to them.
It couldn't be. They'd have to have a crazy tie and something flashing in the back, or I don't know. I want to see your sunglasses. You have to wear them. This is it, the
There you
bug.
go.
This is the bug show. This is Andrew, and Andrew West
now
is the
I feel
artist
like we're
on
with a
Broken
rock.
Saints.
Yeah, here we go. Now we're
It
all
is a bit rocky.
now we're all comfortable.
Yeah, we're rock stars.
Give some
Not really-
prop outs
Yes.
to your New York
My
homies.
in
Yeah.
NY.
No.
Now, how did you all? I know how you came together business-wise. Were you all born here, raised here,
Same
schooled
house
here?
all my life.
North Van?
Yeah, same basement all my life.
Perfect.
Calgary,
Calgary,
Alberta.
Alberta.
Alberta boy. I used to live in Jasper. Yeah, many years. We had a ski area there called Marmot Basin.
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Were there marmots in the basin?
there were marmots. Yes, they're disappearing out here. But no, we had whistling marmots. It was very cool.
Word!
U.S. media paying attention to you?
Yeah.
Me?
To Andrew-
just
Andrew
me?
Directly?
It
Yeah.
must be about me.
I got a lot of teen magazines interested in me.
Yeah, totally. He wants to be on the cover of Teen People. That's his goal with this project.
You know, you got
No,
success
this
when
could
you're on
happen. We
Teen
can
Bob.
make that happen. We know some editors.
Yeah.
Please.
Teen people.
Teen People for Andrew. Andrew only.
Just
Maybe
Andrew.
Elm Street. I don't know about teen people. We'll work on it.
We've been in Entertainment Weekly,
Yes.
and also had a video story done for the Time Warner Network, which aired on NY1 in New York
Good.
through Entertainment Weekly, and also through the CNN network. So that was really good.
Salon.com.
Do you know what? I'm actually in communication with Salon.com as we speak, so I'm
Yes.
hoping they're going to do a feature.
Yeah, that's good to do a feature with them. Larry King.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Waiting for
Where
the Larry.
is Lair? I know.
Let me tell you about Broken Saints, internet novel. Think I love it. What do you say, Brooke?
Yeah.
As far as the process goes, Brooke gives me a shot list, and then I just draw it. Pretty much.
It's all the glamour.
It's not very. It's not very exciting. He just gives me everything, and then I just take it away from there.
Okay.
And sometimes we talk about it, and sometimes we don't.
Sometimes I just have
It's all
faith that he's just
collaborated.
Yeah.
It's going to come up with the character. Are there new characters every episode, or are the characters pretty well established now?
I mean, the
I'm
format
going to have to
established.
read this internet novel.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you
Definitely.
haven't done your research
I'm
yet.
so ashamed of
It's
myself.
pretty intense and it's pretty profound. You might
it?
actually, it's a late night, put the candles and incense on, turn up
like
the stereo, hang up the phone, do not be bothered for your 15, 20 minutes, and you'll be creeped out.
Okay.
It gets under your skin. It makes you think, well, it seems to.
Yeah.
It seems to have that effect. We've had a few tears. We've had people write in and say, thank you so much. And
Yeah, that's,
Really?
on
that's the
continual
best. That's
basis,
why we do it. You
daily,
know, when you get the
daily.
emails which are just like, thank you. Like, yeah.
Like, thank you so much. You profoundly affected me. Thank
And
you
that's
so
just
much. You've
awesome.
moved me. Thank you so
Really?
much.
Yeah.
Yes, this isn't
So
crap.
this is hitting a.
This is hitting a chord.
As you said, you didn't want to just do light stuff. You don't want to follow a hockey player
I
around,
wanted to do
even
some-
if it's a Gretzky.
You know, and not just that, and also most Flash that's online is also it's all
just
toilet
toilet
humor.
humor
It's
right
all like, you
now.
know, if I want to see like a cartoon character defecate, ooh ah, but not on my
Yeah.
PC screen. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right, this is a tool for possibly affecting global thought and global change. And if I can do it in a small way, and if we can do it in a small way with effects and art and sound, and do something archetypal,
Sure.
like, get into psyches. And it's nice to know that there are like common threads. And we've seen through the series that there are definitely common threads. There's a commonality globally. When you have people in the Philippines or the Kingdom of Brunei or something like that, like writing and going, thank you so much, we're obviously striking an archetypal nerve.
Yeah, are these people expats?
No.
They're not.
No.
They're natives.
Natives
so to
of
speak.
their countries, yeah, for sure.
Wow, that's so cool.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Does it come in every language? You have that language
No.
thing on, so it's all in English. Of course,
all in
English is
English.
the universal language, but they say they
But-
tell us.
But we've actually been surprised by how many Germans and French and Asians have really gravitated towards it and still have made the effort to understand the depths of the story. In fact, it seems that some people with English as their second language
Have got it
better and understood more of the layers
Yeah.
involved than our North American friends.
Yes. What countries aren't represented? Noticeably absent. Was there a
Luxembourg.
country- Yes. Belgium.
But Luxembourg, no, Belgium's big.
No, Belgium's
big.
yeah.
South America's big. Some of the smaller Central American countries aren't really that represented.
Right.
Although we've had
China?
Yeah,
China's,
yeah,
yeah.
China, Korea, Japan. Not so much Thailand or Malaysia, but that will grow. But definitely Australia, New Zealand. South America's been really big. We've had a really big Latin following.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And Pakistan, India.
Stand a bit,
Definitely.
there you go.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, it's just growing. It's just so huge now.
What's been strange, Fanny, is that for the last 10 to 15 years, only in the last few years has it changed. But before that, the comic book medium, the graphic literature medium was never taken seriously. It was considered pulpy and poppy, and that was it. And it took the work of only a couple of authors to win like World Fantasy Awards and have like an uproar in the novelist circles for people to see that, wow, you could really tell a powerful story with this. And think about that. Pictorial stories predate language. They predate speech. We're talking cave paintings here. They dig down deep when done right, when there's passion behind them and they're telling an important story. And you asked earlier about characters. I don't know what it is about a pagan girl in the South Pacific and a Shinto priest in Japan and an Iraqi mercenary and a programmer in Seattle with all different faiths, but somehow feeling the same type of emptiness and removal, but it's striking chords.
7 people run the world.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Illuminati,
7 corporations
hello.
run the world. Yeah, if you believe in all of that, then it will be impossible for them to continue. I mean, I'm not.
I feel monumentally naive, and I feel like I'm in a stranglehold.
We are.
and you know we are, and I think we all sense that we are. Most people aren't aware of it consciously, or they don't think about it. They don't walk around with their theories every day or discuss it.
Right, the
But they
IMF.
feel exactly. Oh, geez, let's just go on that. I totally am with you on that, and it frustrates me to no end. But to know that there are always like-minded people who are going, you know what? I'm just on the verge of consciousness. I can kind of feel what's going on. I'm not sure what direction to go in, but something is wrong.
BrokenSaints.com. Go there. You can start at the beginning. I assume your
Yes.
archive, and you can go back,
Oh, yeah.
so you don't have to go into episode 9 because you'd be confused.
You'd be confused, yeah.
Be confused. How
Like
many
start from
characters
square
in the
one.
whole piece?
There are
So
4
far.
primary characters, and in the end, there'll be between like 6, well, no, probably around 12 sub-characters, but it's really about the quest
Right.
of the 4, which represent 4 philosophies, 4 elements, the 4 corners.
Yes. And are you going to end this with 24, you promise, or will there be a sequel?
Oh,
If it was to continue, it would continue in another medium,
I see. On television.
perhaps.
Oh, look at they probably cut the deal and everything. What kind of reporter am I? I'll be the-
research, Fanny!
I thank all of you.
Thank you, Fanny.
Thanks for
you.
dropping in. Andrew West, the artist, Ian Kirkby, the editor, and Brooke Burgess, the creator of BrokenSaints.com.
What would you give to know the truth?
Yes. Do not be tainted. Go and be sainted. Oh, that's so.
That's very good. Do not be taken.